Everyday English Podcast
by English Talking Today.
Hello, and welcome back to English Talking Today. I'm Mary, and a lot of people think that being a good English student is only about what you do in the classroom. They think it's about having a perfect score on a test, or knowing every single word in the dictionary, or never, ever making a mistake. But what if I told you that wasn't the whole story? Today, I want to talk about what it really means to be a good English student. It's not just about what you know, but about who you are as a learner. It's about your attitude, the habits you build, and your commitment to practicing every single day. And the best part is anyone can do it. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be willing to try. First, let's talk about why it's so important to be a good English student. It's more than just getting a good grade in a class. When you become a good English student, you learn faster, you understand more deeply, and you actually start to enjoy the process. Think about it. When you're good at something, you feel confident. This confidence helps you when you're traveling and need to ask for directions, or when you're in a meeting at an international company and need to share your ideas, or even when you're just chatting with a new friend online. Being a good English student isn't just about language. It's about building skills that are useful in the real world. You learn how to listen carefully, how to practice consistently, and how to stay motivated even when things feel difficult. These are skills that can help you in any area of your life, not just with English. For example, maybe you're trying to learn a new sport. The same ideas apply. Listen to your coach, practice every day, and don't give up. The more you put into your English learning, the more you'll get out of it, and the more confident you'll become. That confidence is what makes you willing to speak up and less afraid of making mistakes, and trust me, that's a game changer. Next, I want to talk about something I think is even more important than grammar and vocabulary, your attitude and motivation. Learning English is a marathon, not a sprint. You're not going to become fluent overnight. Believing that you can learn step by step is so important. When you have this positive mindset, your mind is more open to learning. You start to enjoy the small progress you make, and that little bit of progress keeps you motivated. Maybe today you learned how to properly use the past tense. Celebrate that. Or maybe you had a conversation with a native speaker and they understood you. That's a huge win. Your motivation is the reason you are learning English in the first place. Why are you doing this? Are you learning English to get a better job? To travel the world? To make new friends? To watch your favorite movies without subtitles? Whatever your reason is, it's a powerful tool. Here's a helpful tip. Write your reason for learning English on a small piece of paper or in your phone. Then, when you feel tired or frustrated, look at it. It will remind you why you started and give you the energy to continue. For instance, my friend, let's call her Sarah, was learning English because she wanted to study abroad in the United States. She had a picture of the university on her wall. When she felt like giving up, she would look at that picture and remember her dream. This simple act kept her going and helped her achieve her goal. Remember to celebrate your small successes, like learning a few new words or speaking a full sentence with confidence. Every small win is a step forward. Now, let's talk about something else that is crucial, building good habits. Consistency is much more important than intensity. It's much better to study a little bit every day than to study for 6 hours straight only once a week. Think of it like brushing your teeth. You do it for a few minutes every day, and it keeps your teeth healthy. The same idea applies to learning English. Small, consistent habits add up to big results over time. Here are some simple habits you can start today. First, try reading one page of a book, a magazine, or even a news article in English every night. It could be something you're interested in, like sports, fashion, or technology. Just one page. It doesn't take long, but it helps you see new words and sentence structures every day. Second, try talking to yourself in English for just 5 minutes a day. You can describe what you're doing, like I am cooking dinner or I am walking to the store. This helps you practice speaking without any pressure. Third, try listening to an English podcast or some English songs with subtitles. You could find a podcast about a topic you like, or listen to a song and read the lyrics at the same time. This is a great way to improve your listening and pronunciation. And finally, try writing just 3 simple sentences in English every day. You can use a notebook or your phone. You could write about what you did today, what you want to do tomorrow, or even just what you're thinking. These simple habits, done every day, will make a huge difference in your progress. Don't worry about being perfect. Just focus on being consistent. Of course, we can't forget about classroom and self-study tips. When you're in the classroom, a good student is not just a passive listener. A good student is active. They listen carefully. They ask questions when they don't understand, and they participate in discussions. Asking questions shows your teacher that you want to learn, and making mistakes is a natural and necessary part of the process. So don't be afraid to raise your hand and ask for clarification. Respecting your teacher and your classmates is also very important. Learning is a shared experience, and everyone in the room is there to learn and grow. But remember, learning doesn't stop when class ends. Self-study is just as important. In fact, most of your learning will happen outside the classroom. You need to take responsibility for your own learning. When you get homework, don't just rush to finish it. Take the time to understand the concepts. If you're struggling, don't be afraid to look things up or ask for help. A great way to make self-study more fun is by using apps, watching English YouTube videos, or playing games in English. For example, maybe you're learning vocabulary. Instead of just reading a list of words, you could use a flashcard app like Anki or Quizlet. Or if you want to practice your listening, you could watch a YouTube channel about a hobby you enjoy, like painting or cooking. You can make a simple plan, like 10 minutes each for reading, listening, and writing every day. This simple plan can make a big difference and keep you on track. Finally, I want to talk about overcoming challenges and daily practice. We all face challenges when we're learning a new language. One of the biggest challenges is the fear of making mistakes. I know how it feels. You're afraid you'll say something wrong, people will laugh, and you'll feel embarrassed. But let me tell you a secret. Everyone makes mistakes. It's part of the learning process. The people who are fluent today all made countless mistakes on their journey. The key is to see mistakes as opportunities to learn, not as failures. Another challenge is a lack of confidence. This is where regular practice comes in. The more you use English, the more confident you'll feel. And then there's the challenge of consistency. It's easy to start a new habit, but it's hard to keep it going. That's why it's better to do something small every day than to forget about it. For instance, maybe you feel like you don't have enough time to study. Instead of trying to find a long block of time, try to find small pockets of time in your day. Maybe you can listen to an English podcast for 5 minutes while you're walking to the bus stop, or you can read an article on your phone while you're waiting for your coffee. Little by little, it adds up. And please, 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 avoid comparing your progress to others. Everyone learns at their own pace. Your journey is unique. The most important thing is to be better today than you were yesterday. Making English a part of your daily life is the best way to practice. It's not just a subject for a test, it's a way to communicate. For example, try speaking with friends for a few minutes a day. You could talk about your plans for the weekend or a movie you just watched. The conversation doesn't have to be long or perfect. Or try watching movies or TV shows in English with subtitles. You can start with subtitles in your native language, then switch to English subtitles, and eventually, no subtitles at all. Listening to English songs is also a fantastic way to practice. When you hear a new word, look it up. Finally, try simple things like writing your shopping list in English or even changing your phone's language to English. These small changes help you use the language in a practical way and make it feel more natural. Remember, being a good English student isn't about being perfect. It's about being dedicated, consistent, and positive. It's about building a solid foundation through small, daily actions. It's about enjoying the process and celebrating every step of your journey. So, what's one small thing you can do today to be a better English student? Think about it and make it happen. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Mary, and this is English Talking Today. I'll see you next time.